Well, hello everyone. My name is Dar Rath and I'm the pastor at Faith Lutheran Church in Port Elgin, Ontario, Canada. And each week I bring you a story that takes about 5 minutes to watch. And each time it's from a different book, different authors. Today it is Sunset Musings, written by our dear friend Bob Johnston. I love his stories. So this one is called Let's Play Ball. Every spring, and despite the weather, baseball's back in town. Well, not exactly in Southampton's still soggy fields yet, but certainly in Toronto where the Blue Jays played their annual season opener. When our own local ballparks and school playgrounds finally dry out, other games will soon be played. Some casual pickup contests just for fun, and more organized slow-pitch fastball and hardball leagues. When I reflect on my personal thoughts of baseball over many years, I find the most pleasurable memories involve my watching the game, but far fewer from actually playing it. I hold on to a happy memory of a boyhood in 1950s Toronto, sitting in a wooden bleachers on a balmy Sunday afternoon. I was rooting for my beloved Maple Leafs, a professional AAA team competing at that time in the International League. Games were played in the cozy open-air Maple Leaf Stadium at the foot of Bathurst Street, nestled right beside Lake Ontario. Some of the Maple Leafs were rookies trying to impress the scouts and be invited up to that next level, the National or American Leagues. I liked watching Elston Howard, one of the first black ball players. Howard would soon make it to the big leagues where he excelled as a catcher for the Yankees. A few years earlier, in 1946, Jackie Robinson starred for Montreal in the same league before Branch Rickey brought him to the Dodgers as the first black player to integrate into the majors. Other Maple Leafs were older, seasoned veterans such as the pitcher Fireman Ray Shore, so called because he was the team's closer. His role was to put out the opposition's fire in the last inning of the close contest. Their names sound like they are from a Hollywood movie, Rocky Nelson, Stubby Overmeyer. Although most of those guys knew they were not bound for the majors, they played for a decent paycheck, but mostly for the love of the game. The venerable stadium, which is in its best year, drew 500,000 fans, was torn down after my Maple Leafs folded in 1967. Toronto then had to wait patiently for the arrival of its next pro ball team, the Blue Jays, who arrived in 1977. Well, what excitement followed when they won back-to-back World Series in 1992 and 93. I recall other good memories, bringing one son to watch Dave Stitch play and the other to take in the 1982 All-Star Game in Montreal, home of the Expos. I mentioned that I played baseball. How many of us endured the particular ego-destroying ordeal of being picked last when the sides were chosen for a pickup game? I refer to the situation where, as I stood trying to appear nonchalant, each captain argued forcefully that the other team should have to take me. Every player had to be given a turn at bat in order, and I was considered a liability, not an asset. At the spring of my grade 8 year, when I was attending a new school, Mrs. Kerr stopped our game when I was batting during a physical education class. She strode over to the plate and proceeded to correct how I was holding the bat. While her effort was well-intentioned, it had the opposite result. Classmates laughed and snickered while I vainly tried to hide under home plate. Later, my teacher redeemed herself by choosing to sit beside me when no one else wanted to on the year-end class trip to Niagara Falls. Then there were those traumatic moments when a towering fly ball would be hit toward me in left field. I was usually placed there to be kept out of the way, but inevitably, despite my fervent prayers to be spared, a ball would be lofted high into the air. My first impulse was to move aside so that the more skilled center fielder could make the play. He was usually too far away and could only scream, "It's your ball, Johnston." Then he would add ominously and unhelpfully, "Don't drop it." They say that our life flashes before us in moments of crisis. In my case, a similar experience occurred with each fly ball. I can see it coming. The universe slows down and time stops. A white baseball hangs suspended forever in the blue sky. It suddenly descends toward my extended arm. I aim the glove and only miss by a couple of feet. I'm relieved the ball didn't land on my head. As I grew up, I did achieve some level of competence. I could play a reasonable first base position, helped by my oversized Cooper trap mitt, left-handedness, and long reach. In my 50s, I joined a church league and survived a few years until one game, 2 consecutive grounders escaped through my legs. After retrieving the second one as two runners scored, I desperately hurled the ball toward home plate. It sailed into the stands, scattering the sparse crowd of fans. I voluntarily asked to be replaced by a young rookie, eager to fill my shoes. 2 years ago, my grandsons were nicely settled into their first childhood at ages 5 and 8. I was well into my second. As we tossed a ball around on that warm spring long weekend in our Southampton backyard, I believed I had at last found my level of baseball skill. Unfortunately for me, time is on their side. Well, what a wonderful, wonderful story. And what about those Blue Jays? Well, the Blue Jays now, at this point, are making a run for first place. And they're having their struggles at some games, and then other games they're just walking over everybody with a lot of runs and so forth. My husband and I watch every pitch, and are avid fans of the Blue Jays. We've been down to one game this year. And we used to play ball, my husband and I, and we coached ball for 15 years and enjoyed every single minute of it. That's how we met as well. I was playing senior fastball in Guelph for the Guelph ladies team, and at that time in history, people used to fill the stands. Everybody would be coming. There would be a big crowd there to watch us play in the finals against Kitchener. And my husband and his friends came to watch, and there was a big storm in the middle of the night, and we all ran to the cars, and I hopped into this 1957 Chevy, and that was my future husband's car. And so we've been together for 60 years ever since. So wonderful, wonderful story, Bob Johnston, and I can identify with everything that he's saying about learning how to catch fly balls and all that kind of thing. What a wonderful story. So, thanks for taking 5, and blessings on your day.